Welcome to the Poke Cave. This is the live Q&A where I answer all of your guys' questions related to Pokemon cards, buying, selling, collecting, investing, grading, and so much more. Welcome to everybody here. I don't know if it's morning for you guys or afternoon, but I know there's a lot of people joining up from around the world, so we're starting off a little bit earlier than usual today. But guys, down below in the description is a form where you can ask all of your questions. So go down there, hit that first link, send your question in, throw some pictures on it as well. And guys, we're going to jump into the latest news because a lot of you guys might already know this, but a lot of you may not. A new set has just been released. It is the Sword and Shield 3.5 Champions Path. So this is going to be like kind of like the Hidden Fates of this year. But if you check it out on the screen here, this is the Elite Trainer Box with this amazing artwork on the front there. And it looks like from these photos here that you will get that Charizard full art as a promo card inside of this Elite Trainer Box. So this is going to be wild. I know these are going to be sold out basically immediately. Any place or any online stores that have these pre-sales going up, they were sold out like almost instantly. It comes with 10 packs as usual. You get the sleeves, you get the dice, you get the damage counters, and of course you get that beautiful card that we wanted in English. And it's not 100% confirmed that this is the exact card, if you guys could see it, that we're going to be getting, but we're definitely getting a Charizard V full art as a promo. Whether it's that artwork or not, we're going to see, but I'm pretty sure it probably will be. And then, of course, we're going to be hunting for the VMAX Charizard, which is another one that we don't know if we're going to get. If we go over here and we look at the tournament Charizard cards, we don't know if we're going to get this one right here, which some people are saying that we will. Some people are saying maybe not, but we're gonna find out soon because this is a wild year. We have Darkness Ablaze dropping on August 15th. We have September 25th. This is Champions Path coming out like a little bit over a month after Darkness Ablaze. We're gonna be going Charizard hunting. The hobby and everything with Pokemon in general is just, it's going wild, guys. People are excited, and it's a fun time. I think the rest of this year for Pokemon in general is just going to be a big one. So get excited, guys. I'll read a little bit more about Champions Path, and then we will jump into the Q&A. And you guys still have time to throw your questions in down below if you would like in the description form. But so far, we have the pin collection boxes, and with these sets, they normally don't have booster boxes. So it's going to be one of those sets where you're going to have to go in and you're going to have to grab the pin boxes, which are based on the gyms, or the gym leaders. So here are all the different pin boxes, and here's the full set here with the display. You have all these other things where you can grab packs in with promo cards and the actual gym leader pins in there as well. So that's what we got right now, and I'm sure they're probably going to release the tins like with Hidden Fates. So overall, a big year for Pokemon, and the rest of the year is looking like it's going to be an awesome time. So again, I want to welcome everybody here to the Poke Cave. We got Anthony White in the house. What is going on? Flips is here. We got Dylan. We got Hostel. We got Diane. We have everybody joining up. I know it's an early morning for you guys, but I wanted to make sure I get this in every Saturday because I got a crazy schedule today, but I wanted to make sure I have time to kick it with you guys live. So let's jump into it. Hopefully, let me know if you guys are excited for Champions Path. Let me know your thoughts on it in the live chat. But I'm going to jump into that live Q&A right now, and we're going to get it rocking and rolling here. So we're going to start it off with Mike. This is a collecting question, and the goal is to collect base set, Jungle and Fossil and Rocket. Nice, the OG sets. You cannot beat them, the Gen 1s. The question is, hey, I'm really enjoying the channel. Well, thank you so much. Evolution's brought me back to the hobby. My question is, I'm keen to try to collect and complete base, Fossil, Jungle, and Rocket sets. In your opinion, is Near Mint Unlimited worth investing in? If so, what should I avoid when looking at the cards? For example, particular damage or etc. Right, so first off, yeah, absolutely. Near Mint cards are for sure up and coming, and when I say up and coming, I just mean it as this way, where the Gem Mint cards are constantly going up in price, which brings up everything below that as well. So then you have the PSA 9 cards are also moving up, the near mint cards, etc. So everything kind of flows up together, because once somebody gets priced out of the 10s, they'll move to the 9s, then they'll move to the 8s, etc. So when you say near mint, we're thinking PSA 10 is gem mint, PSA 9 is mint, and then PSA 8 is when we start getting to the near mint. But near mint can be iffy, because it can go low. It can go pretty low in the grade scale. So you want to make sure when you say near mint, like you said, you want to avoid a lot of damage on the cards. But yeah, absolutely, go for a complete base, fossil, jungle, and rocket sets in near mint, and for sure it's a good way to go, 100%. Especially when you're going Wizard of the Coast era. It's a it's like the safest place to be, in my opinion. The modern stuff, once you get more and more modern, is more and more riskier. All right, so let's move on to the next question. I see a lot of you guys' questions flowing in right now. Get them in now, guys. I'm telling you right now, since we started early, there's not as many people here. So you guys have your questions. Now is the time to throw them in, because I will be able to get to them as I'm looking at this question form at the moment. A lot of people are sleeping, but as somebody said in the chat, the early bird gets the worm. And in this case, the early bird gets their questions answered. So let's see. The next question is from Dylan Westra. This is a market question, and the goal is to own at least one booster pack from every single set. I love that goal. I love sealed booster packs. So nice goal. And the question is, how does BGS 9.5 differ in value from a PSA 10 card? For example, I have a BGS 9.5 Sabrina's Gengar and was wondering if getting it in PSA 10 would be more or less valuable. Personally, I'm more fond of the gold label. Yeah, so 9.5s in general are going to be worth less than PSA 10s. How the grading scale normally works is a BGS 9.5 is usually looked on as a lower grade than a PSA 10. You can try to cross BGS 9.5s to PSA 10s. It does work sometimes. It depends on how the card looks. But 9.5 in general is going to be looked on as a lower scale. And actually, I just realized you do have a photo on here, so I could pull this up on the screen. It actually looks like you do have a couple of awesome 9.5. So guys, this is Beckett BGS 9.5s. So if you look on here, they do show all the subgrades. PSA doesn't do the subgrades. So these cards in 9.5 are amazing. They're awesome. They are gem mint to Beckett, but a lot of people would prefer to have that 10. It's just kind of seeing a 10 on a card a lot of times, especially with PSA, is just kind of, it's going to drive the value up higher. People see it as a perfect 10 all day. It'll always, for the most part, be a higher value. You could try to cross these over, but don't get me wrong. People love Beckett. BGS 9.5s are amazing grades, but just for the market as a whole, PSA 10s are going to have the lead on it value-wise. But if you like the gold labels more, you go for that and go with Beckett, because Beckett is starting to get a little bit more of the market with Pokemon. Not PSA still dominates, but I see more Beckett collectors more and more coming onto the scene and grabbing Beckett stuff. So it's definitely a good way to go, but PSA 10 is going to have more value. So hopefully I answered your question on that one, but what's going on, KSK? We got Ken in the house. We got Clayton. Luciano is here. We got Chris. We got BMW Pokemon. Guys, I see questions in the live. Make sure you throw them in the form. It's in the description. That is where I'm going to answer all the questions for today's live Q&A. And we're going to move on to the next question here. And thank you guys so much for being here and for all the awesome questions that you guys always ask, because you guys are the ones that make these live Q&As what they are. You ask the questions, you guys get the get the thoughts going, get the video content out and everything like that, and you guys are the ones that make that possible. So without your guys' questions, we could not do this. So I appreciate you guys. All right, so let's see what we got next in the live Q&A. It is gonna be from Chriso. It's a collecting question. Would you start collecting German cards, especially the Neo because they had a really short print, despite that you could not send them to PSA? So with German cards, I personally don't collect them, but I know there's a market out there for every language. So if you want to go for like different language cards, I know like there's the Spanish base set has been going up, like the Chinese, German and stuff like that. Absolutely. I mean, it's old, you know, it's vintage. It's basically what, you know, it's Wizard of the Coast era. It's just in a different language. So I'm sure there's markets for all that stuff, and it's all, I've seen it all going up. So yeah, I don't see why not, for sure. For sure. Next question is going to be from Falcor. It's a grading question, and the goal is to find cards graded or non-graded. Nice. So the question is, would you say it's better for the older cards, 2010 and prior years, to try to find a good deal for already graded ones, or take my chances and try to get a single off eBay and get it graded? Okay, so there's always going to be that risk reward aspect to buying raw cards, right? So you could go out there and you could try to find the deals on eBay, and a lot of times it's going to be those newer listings like we normally go through, and I'll probably have time to do that again today, where we go through the new listings and we kind of see what we have going on to eBay. But I'll bring it up again. It's the early bird gets the worm. So if you're there and you see a new listing come up for a raw card that's not graded, and you think it could be a PSA 9, a PSA 10, or whatever the case may be, you got to risk it for the biscuit, as they say, right? So you take that risk. Sometimes you make it out ahead. Sometimes you don't make it out ahead. Sometimes you do worse off. Sometimes it's better to just go for the graded, the card already graded, pay that price that you know you're paying on it, and see if it appreciates in value over time, which a lot of stuff has been doing for pretty much everything across the board at this point. But there's no one right way to go about it. You could maybe grab some cards already graded. You could grab some raw off of eBay and try to grade those as well. Do a mixture of both. Some people just strictly buy the raw ones and take the gamble. Some people play it safe. The safer option is to go with the graded card, pay a premium, and know the grade that you're getting. The riskier part of it is to grade cards, but that with risk comes reward a lot of times. So there's not one right way to go about it. I do both myself. So, all right. Let's move on to the next question. Hopefully you guys are having a good time. I see a bunch more people joining up here as we move a little bit later into the day. It's pretty early. It's only about 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time where I am. So, yeah, we're going to keep moving along here as the questions roll in. We still have not a ton of questions, not like an overwhelming amount yet. So we still have those questions. Get them in. Cash Thatcham, you are up next. Thank you so much for throwing in the question in the live Q&A. This is a grading question. The goal is to be as cool as you one day. Hey, I appreciate you, Cash Thatcham. I always see you here. I appreciate the support as always. The question is, first shout out to your barber for giving you the best hair in the Poketubing world. But I recently pulled thank you, first of all. I actually cut my hair myself, so that is another compliment that you were throwing my way, and I appreciate it. I recently pulled this Sharpedo EX out of an EX Deoxys pack. Woo! You were opening up Deoxys packs. That's wild. That is awesome. What do you think this would grade as from PSA, and what are your estimates on the current value of it today? Absolutely. Let's jump into that. So we have a couple of photos that I'm going to throw up on the screen here for you guys to check out of this Sharpedo EX that Cash Thatcham pulled out of a Deoxys pack recently, which is wild to see those opened up. It's probably the most expensive EX era sealed products that are out there at the moment. So here we go. We got a Sharpedo EX. That is awesome. 104 out of 107. Congrats on that hit. 2005. So let's take a look at this. Sometimes it's hard to tell with these EX era cards because you got a lot going on here, but the borders on these are they're very nice. They got that hollow pattern all on the edges there. So the centering is looking good. I mean, the centering is looking really good. Maybe it's a smudge off top to bottom, but still within the parameters for a PSA 10. Let's see what the back's looking like. Nice. So our back is looking good. Up here looks really solid on the corners. The edges are looking really good as well. Let's check out the bottom here. So there's a tiny little bit. I don't know if you guys can see that if I'm blocking it, but it's like the itty bittiest, tiniest little bit of whitening right there and right there. So I think that still is within the PSA 10 parameters. The centering is really good. It's good enough on the back. So you're looking at a 9 to a 10 for sure. I think it definitely has a chance for a PSA 10. So when we look into values on a lot of these types of cards, sometimes it's hard to say because you don't see them as much. But what we're going to do is we're going to go on eBay. We'll put in, I don't know if anything's going to come up on this card in PSA 10, but we'll see. Sharpedo Deoxys. PSA 10 Sharpedo Deoxys. And so these are Japanese. They're going to be a lot less expensive. I only see 3 Japanese ones up. And then I do see one that sold for 200 or best offer, but that was all the way back in May. And as you guys know, with this market, if you look back a week ago, if you look back 2 days ago, a lot of times the price is already off. So I would assume that this is a very dated price going back in May. This is like this is that listing for this sold one. If you guys don't know, sold listings only show for 3 months at a time. This is almost at that 3-month limit, which is basically, it means it's going to fall off of eBay and you're not going to be able to see it anymore. But another thing we could do some more digging here, and we can actually go to Pokemon price and we'll see if there's any data on here at all. So what we could do is we can go to Deoxys. And if you guys don't know, Pokemon price keeps track of all the prices and populations of all of the Pokemon sets in English. And we'll do Sharpedo. And I'm thinking the same thing is going to be for this, is that we're not going to see any real like current pricing data on something like this. But we'll take a peek and we'll see how it's looking on here. So yeah, the last sale was that $200 one, or 200 or best offer back in May. So it's really kind of like a guesstimate on here. I would probably say it's worth at least double that, at least in this market. So if it gets a 10, there's only 27 of them. I mean, that's like being that's like keeping it on the safe side at 400. But I would imagine this card being a pretty substantial value in a PSA 10 in today's market. But we don't have the data to support that. But either way, get that Sharpedo EX graded. Congrats on that pull, and thank you so much for being here and for the question. So let's move on to our next question here. We got a bunch coming in, so thank you guys for submitting all of your questions. Next up, we have, we got some card pictures for getting graded. So I'm going to pull those up. I'm going to pull up the question as well, and we're going to see what we got here. So question is from Devin. It's a grading question. What grade do you think these would get? First edition T17 and first edition Blaine's Moltres. If you guys know, the T17 is one of the most expensive Pokemon cards that you can get graded in a PSA 10. Value-wise, PSA 10s are, I think they're hovering around 20,000. It's hard to say exactly, but it is one of the toughest cards to get in a PSA 10. One of the most sought after. This is, can't believe, guys, thank you so much for throwing this in here. Thank you, Devin, for showing this during this live Q&A, because this is awesome. This is a T17 first edition. This is the Typhlosion from Neo Genesis. I think recent sales have been $15,000 or more. I know that people have gotten offered $15,000 recently, I believe, and declined it. So I wouldn't put it past being worth a $20,000 card in a PSA 10. So I think this is the back of the card. I'm hoping it is. But we're going to take a look here. So this, first of all, guys, I mean, a beautiful card from the Neo era. Neo Genesis in particular is the first print run of Gen 2 Pokemon. So this is like the rookie cards, if you want to put it that way, for sports, if you're comparing it to Pokemon. But T17, the centering is actually really good. It's a little bit off left to right, but I still think it's within the parameters for a 10, that ratio that they look for. And then we're going to try to take a look at the holo here. I like that you sent in really high quality photos, so I appreciate that. Anybody that's sending in photos for questions, this is a great example of a great photo here. So the holo, from what I can see in this photo, I don't see any print lines, but I'm always going to assume that there's probably something on this card. So if we could get different angles of this holo as well, that would actually also be helpful. But from this angle, I do not see anything. That doesn't mean that there isn't anything. So looking at the front of this card, it looks really good. But then when we look on the back here, everything looks really clean, except for down at the bottom there, you could see for sure that is a substantial amount of edge wear. So that'll take it right away from a 10. And it probably would drop it even lower than a 9, in my opinion. And that the other thing with this photo too is that it's on a white piece of paper, so we don't see, like, I could tell there's definitely edge wear all down here, but it's hard to see with this white piece of paper. So for sure, try to do darker backgrounds as well with the photos. That'll help a lot. And that's just so I give you guys the best guess that I can, or we can, because I know in the chat a lot of you guys like to throw in your guesses as well. So you feel free to do that in the chat. But I would say for sure a maximum on this would probably be like a PSA 8, and that's going to depend on the front as well. But a beautiful card, and an 8 for this card. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if in a PSA 8 they're going for over 1,000. Let's see what this is worth. PSA 8 Typhlosion from Genesis, and we want it in first edition. So we have some of these recently sold for $800, $870. I see one that sold for over $1,000. So yeah, probably in that ballpark, probably about 1,000 on that card in a PSA 8. So that's an awesome, for a PSA 8, that is one of the most valuable cards, if not, well, yeah, one of the most valuable, not the most valuable. You got PSA 10 or PSA 8 first edition base Charizard, of course, and others like that. Now we got a Blaine's Moltres as well, first edition. This is from Gym Heroes. Front of it is very nicely centered. It's a little bit off, a tiny, actually, that's really good. That's some solid centering for sure. So for sure within the parameters for PSA 10 centering, and then we look at that hollow on there as well. We don't really see much, but we can't tell from one angle, but the front just from this photo looks really solid. And then this one also has like that bottom edge wear. I wonder what that's from, because the other one also had it on the bottom, some right there. And then if we look on here, you might have we have a little bit up there. It's hard to tell around there, but something like that where it's pretty noticeable would probably drop it down to an 8. You might sneak in a 9 on this, but most likely an 8. Really awesome card. Beautiful artworks on all these Wizards of the Coast era cards. Guys, this is like back in the day, if you don't know, it was all about the hollows. Those were the top of the top. The rarest of the rarest was the hollows. And I know nowadays it's like you get a hollow in a packet. It's no big deal at all. But these were it back in the day. So thank you so much for the question. And yeah, I just want to go through and move on to the next one. I also want to check out the live. I want to see what you guys are up to, chatting it up. We got TCG Revival in the house. Welcome. Thank you for joining up here. Hanging out in the chat. We got everybody else. And I want to also go over, we got a super chat from Luke C. Thank you so much for the super chat. We got a question, I believe. It is, how much is a Mewtwo Evolution worth from the year 1999 graded? Also, how do I get my cards graded? I have no idea what I'm doing. All right, so it sounds like you're pretty new, and I'm actually very curious. I did this one time before, but let me get a hashtag new. If you are new to Pokemon collecting, buying, and selling within this year of 2020, so let me know if you started in 2020. And I know a lot of you guys probably started back in the day as kids, but besides that, getting back in or brand new to it within this year 2020, let me know. Get a hashtag new in the chat. We'll see how many new people we have here. And it's a welcome place, the Poke Cave. If you guys don't know, my name is PokeRev, and we do these every Saturday morning. So whether you're new, whether you've been doing this for a long time, you're welcome to throw your questions in, and everybody here is able to help each other out. So you guys feel free to network in the live chat with each other. If you guys have things you're looking for, if you guys have things you're selling, if you want to network, do that as well. Feel free. It's an open place as long as we keep it Poke positive here as always and help one another out. We can do that. So to answer your question, how much is the Mewtwo Evolutions worth from the year 1999 graded? So Mewtwo Evolution, I'm assuming that you're gonna be referring to. Let me know if I'm not thinking correctly, but so Mewtwo, I'm thinking maybe you're talking about base set, but there's also like base set 2, and then there's other Mewtwo's as well. So I'm just going to go with base set and hope that's what you're referring to here. So I'm going to switch back over to eBay, and I'm going to go to, and then it's also, it depends on what grade it is. So what I can do quickly here is I can actually go on Pokemon Price, which was that other website. I would definitely start here. Start with Pokemon Price to get a feel for different cards and their values and things like that if you are new. So I'm just going to go to base set, and I'm not sure because you didn't mention what grade or anything like that, but we'll just do base set Mewtwo. Hopefully that'll help you out a little bit here. And Mewtwo, and then we'll just do like maybe unlimited. And so if we look at that, we go to Mewtwo from base set unlimited, and then if you look on here, I'll just give you a way so that you can actually look it up yourself if you are genuinely curious about it. And we go on here, and it'll have all the grades. So this is all PSA 1 through PSA 10, and then all of the recently sold. So you can actually narrow it down to, if you just want to see like 10 prices, you could click on all of these to get rid of those and just see the 10s. And you could see like it's in the $600 ballpark at the moment for 10 PSA. For PSA 10 Mewtwo from Base Unlimited. So go on here, check out the card that you're looking for. In terms of getting your cards graded, you could do it yourself on PSA's website. You can go to psacard.com, which is right here. You could sign up for a membership. That's what I would recommend doing. Sign up for a membership and then follow the instructions on here. I know Gem Mint Pokemon on YouTube has an awesome walkthrough video where you can go through and you can actually see exactly how to submit your cards. And I know it was a little bit a while ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, but it's still relevant today. So it's a good place to start. Go on there and see how to submit your cards. Of course, you can go through somebody like TCA Gaming if you want to get a service where you don't want to have to do it yourself. But that's another way to go. And yeah, and also Luciano is in the house. Greetings from the Netherlands. You're awesome. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate the super chat as well. And let's move on to the next question up in this live Q&A. All right, guys. We got to get a swig of the coffee here. So good morning again to everybody. If you're just joining up here, we are answering all of your guys' questions related to Pokemon cards, collecting, the market, buying and selling, grading, etc. Anything Pokemon related. Throw it in the Q&A, guys. The form is the first link in the description. What's the coffee mug today? Life begins after coffee. This one's Veronica's. I just grabbed. She has so many different mugs, and I just go in on whatever she has in the front. That'll be the quote of the day. All right, let's see what we got up next. And we have question from Jazz. Thank you so much, Jazz, for the question. This is a collecting question. I've been saving money in my bank for a long time now, and I can afford a vintage Pokemon booster box. Which one should I get? Oh, no. Okay, so I appreciate the question, and congratulations on saving up the money, but that should definitely be your choice. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise, or anybody try to sway you in like not getting what you want. I would start it off, if this is going to be your first box, go with whatever set you like the most, whichever one is within your budget and you think is the best. But of course, we could throw in our opinion as well. Take it for what it is. It is just an opinion. So guys, in the live chat, hashtag which set you would choose if you were Jazz right now, and you could pick up a vintage Pokemon booster box. Myself personally, I'll just tell you, I would start it off. If I was grabbing my first box, I would go in with the OG base set Unlimited. If that was within your budget, that's just the set that I started off with. It is the most nostalgic for me personally, and that's just like it. That's the personal thing for me. But you could be more nostalgic for something like the gym sets or the Neo sets or Rocket or maybe Base Unlimited. So whatever it is for you, I would go for. You cannot go wrong. You cannot go wrong with a base on or of any Wizard of the Coast booster box. None of them you can go wrong with at all. So totally your choice, but I appreciate you asking the question and getting feedback in here. And you can definitely grab people's opinions and everything like that. But yeah. Mikkel just pre-ordered 4 Champions Path ETBs. Guys, again, the ETBs for Champions Path, if you guys don't know what that means, Elite Trainer Boxes. I mentioned that earlier, but if you guys are just joining up here, grab them when you can. Grab them. I am telling you guys, these are going to be hard to find. People are going to be pre-ordering these like crazy. As soon as I saw them coming up on different websites, they're gone. The pre-orders are gone like that. They're going to be heavily allocated on distributor level. So you get you get a Charizard. We're assuming it's going to be this one in the full art, and then there's going to be the Chase card. This is going to be wild, guys. This is going to be a lot of fun. Darkness Ablaze, and then this is just like boom, going in with something really crazy with Champions Path. If you guys don't know, again, you're just joining up here. This is coming out September 25th. This is like the hidden fates of this year, where you can only get stuff in pin boxes, and it's going to be wild, guys. I am excited for the rest of this year for Pokemon. This is, honestly, I think this is probably the biggest, if not one of the biggest years for Pokemon cards. What do you guys think? And yeah, you guys are throwing in. Some people are saying to Jazz for you to grab base set. Some people are saying Neo Destiny, Rocket. See, like, everybody has their own opinion. Jungle, I see. Gym Challenge. Somebody saying the Neo sets. Somebody said Call of Legends, which is awesome as well. So, and in terms of vintage, I guess you did say vintage, so not strictly Wizard of the Coast. So you could go through pretty much anything that's older in terms of vintage. But do you, right? Like, do what you want to do. Yeah. So let's move on to the next question up here. And this one is going to be from Caden. This is a buying and selling question. And the goal is to collect every full art trainer in Japanese and English. That is an awesome goal. I don't think I've heard that one, at least not here in the PokeCave. So that is a really great goal. And the question is, how do you buy Pokemon Center exclusive items without buying secondhand? This is like the reoccurring theme, I feel like, for today. We said it twice already. The early bird gets the worm. You got to be on there and you got to go. You got to know when they're dropping it, or at least constantly check. And when they drop something, you got to go on Pokemon Center and you just got to click buy it, throw it in the cart, and go. That's how they do it. That's how I got some of those skateboards. If you remember the Bear Walker skateboards, I think it was, I forget how many they did. Limited print run of, or was it 150 or something like that, of those Bear Walker skateboards. If you guys don't know, I'll pull those up. I think it's a cool little thing you guys can look at, just going on the Pokemon Center theme. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on eBay. I'm going to switch over here, and I'm going to go to Pokemon skateboard. Let's see what comes up. We'll just go to highest price to lowest. But if you guys don't know, there was a limited skateboards that came out from Bear Walker on Pokemon Center, and a lot of places do different collabs. Actually, funny enough, one of these other companies contacted me recently about a collab that is coming soon. And where are we at here? Let's see if we could pull up at least. Wow, we can't even find them. So I actually checked this recently, and there was a lot of them on here, but here's a couple of them. I don't know if they're going to show pictures of the actual board, but I wanted to show you guys. They kept it sealed on here. This one's also sealed. I want to show you guys the board. Maybe I'll go under sold, but they did, I believe it was 5 different artworks. Here we go. Okay, so they had Gyarados, my boy Gyarados. Of course, Charizard was one of them, but these are like some of the Pokemon Center exclusive items where it's like, especially these ones, which are limited. They're actually limited. So like this Gyarados one sold for, looks like $600. I mean, it is so cool the way they did them. I think they're going to have another drop soon, but this is one of them where it's like, you got to pay attention. You got to see when Bear Walker's having the next drop on the next boards, and you got to go in and you got to grab them. It came with a signed piece of paper, documentation on these, and that was like a Pokemon Center exclusive thing where it's either you get it when Pokemon Center drops it, or you miss the boat, and then you got to go on the you got to go on the aftermarket and try to grab them there. So that would be what I would suggest to you. That would be what I suggest to you for that one. All right, let's move on to the next question. Let's see what we got. And again, guys, this is in the form. First link in the description. That's where you guys are asking your questions, not in the live chat. Next question is going to be from Shane. This is a buying and selling question. And the question is, I have 2 Neo Genesis first edition packs that weigh 20.88 and 20.93. Do you think they're both heavy or light? Thanks. So if you guys don't know, Wizards of the Coast era packs in particular, they are able to be weighed, which means that, you know, some people will weigh the packs out and open the ones that have hollow cards inside. And a lot of times it's hard to kind of differentiate what exactly is heavy or light. I personally don't know off the top of my head any of the weights. I know in general, like over 21 for a lot of sets means that it could be heavy. But with that, I'm not totally sure. Might have to just go in for one of them and see what you get out of there. But thank you so much for the question. So, let's see what the next one is. Blankers said in the question, this is a buying and selling question. For somebody who is new to buying and selling, would you recommend them focus on one service or website, eBay/Facebook, or would you suggest to expand as many platforms as you can? So it's really going to come down to how much time you have to put into this. So I would take the time to go on every single different market that you can, because there's opportunities on every market, whether you're talking about Facebook, eBay, Instagram, all the different websites that are specifically just Pokemon, or bigger websites like DA Card World and stuff like that, and other places where you can buy and sell. Really, I would try to go to as many markets as you can, because you could buy things on certain websites, you can sell things on other certain websites, and if you guys are interested, maybe we could work up a master list of all the go-to places, right, for like buying things, for selling things, and maybe we can work it up where we have a master list, and that way everybody will be able to kind of find all of these in one place, because there's so many places, and I myself, over time, I will forget certain websites or certain smaller markets where it's like I haven't visited the website in so long, or the market, and it kind of just like fades from my memory. But if we have a master list and other places that other people don't know about, maybe we can put that together and we can work up a big list as a community here and help each other out with something like that. So I think that might be a cool thing to do. Let me know if you guys think that's a good idea or not. But let's see what the next question is going to be. Next up, we have a collecting question from Jay. The goal is to collect master sets. An awesome goal. Can't go wrong with that one. And the question is, hey, Rev, what do you think of the 25th anniversary set? What do you think the 21st anniversary set will be? And when do you think we will get a preview? Oh, that is like, so as we were saying before, this year for Pokemon has been huge, and it's only getting bigger as the year goes on. And then, of course, if you guys don't know, next year is the 25th anniversary. So we're expecting some big things from Pokemon. I mean, for 25th anniversary, the sky is the limit with Pokemon. I would not be surprised if they start doing some crazy limited edition stuff for that year. I have no idea what to expect, but just going by history and the current size of the hobby in the market right now, I would expect some really awesome stuff. So anything 25th anniversary coming out that's limited or set wise that maybe isn't very limited is probably going to be awesome. I could probably assume that. I can assume that maybe they're going to go back to their to Generation 1, maybe Generation 2 stuff, and just kind of go back to like the history of Pokemon, and like pay some appreciation to older generations that made Pokemon what it is today. So I can't wait to see what we have coming, and I don't know when they would announce anything like that, but we got the rest of this year to look forward to, and then next year is going to be awesome as well, I would assume. So yeah. Next question from Harry. Is a buying and selling question, and the goal is to own a whole set from base, fossil, and jungle. So we had a handful of people bringing that up today. So the OG Gen 1 sets, trying to grab complete sets of those. The question is, I can't afford a first edition Gem Mint 10. So if I go non-first editions in 8 or 9, will they still go up in value? Yeah, so actually, now that you bring that up, a lot of the unlimited stuff is actually harder or more difficult to find than first edition, because you'll see a lot of people will grade to the first edition stuff, but then when you look over to unlimited, a lot of that stuff over the years was played with from like the players, and a lot of the first edition stuff was kind of held onto more and graded more than that. So you'll find that not including like base unlimited, a lot of the unlimited stuff is actually more difficult to find, and you actually sometimes have to pay even a higher premium to get the unlimiteds. So yeah, like I mentioned earlier, across the board, as the PSA 10 stuff keeps going up, the 9 stuff keeps going up, the 8 stuff keeps going up, right? So it all kind of keeps working up. So where 9s were, 8s are moving up to, where, and then etc. So definitely, and you can't go wrong with unlimited. It doesn't have the first edition stamp, but a lot of people don't care about first edition stamp and they just want the OG artwork in mint condition or near mint condition, you can't go wrong with that either. I would say definitely a good way to go, for sure, without a doubt. All right, so next question is from Craig. It's a grading question. The question is, what up, Rev? Was going through my OG collection and was curious if they are worth grading. All of them played and back in the day, so I'm not sure if the grades would be low. They are all in about the same general shape. Okay, so this is going to be a collection from probably a childhood collection. And if you guys know, a lot of the stuff when we were kids, we would pretty much just kind of play with, right? So we would play with them, throw them around, not really put them in sleeves as much. Well, I don't know about everybody, but I know it was a lot more people were not keeping their stuff mint. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to throw up this collection that we have here. We have about 5 photos. So this will give us probably a good idea to kind of see exactly what we have here. So here's like the big shot. So guys, take a second to take all that in. Take a look, see what the cards are, and get a feel for that. Wow. That is a vintage sight to behold of epic Pokemon cards. So I don't even know where to start here, but we got a lot of holos. Looks like we got 3 Lapras. Those are unlimited from Fossil. We got 3 Zapdos from Fossil. We got a lot of OG cards. I'm seeing if there's any first editions. Vileplume from Jungle is a first edition. We're looking for errors. We're looking for things like that. I do see Venusaur. I don't see like a Blastoise or a Charizard, but I feel you on that one because I only pulled the Venusaur as a kid. I didn't get a Blastoise or a Charizard. So from this photo, tough to say on the fronts of these because we don't see close up, but let's see what else we got here. This actually doesn't look too bad. This Vileplume is nicely centered, and then we look here, we do see some of the hollow like edge wear coming through on the front there. There's a little bit of dirt and stuff on the side. There's probably scratches that we can't really see. I can kind of see them right here, like the scratches coming through like there, and there. So for sure wouldn't be a 10. As of this, looking just the front from this photo, maybe 8 to a 9. And then the back is actually not too bad for a card that was played with. But you do have that edge wear there all around the sides. This is what we're looking for, guys. If you don't know, we're looking for, I'll go in even closer here so you guys can really take a look. So when we look at cards, what's a grade, what's a what condition they're in. We're looking for this stuff right here. This is called edge wear. So you got it all around here, and then corner wear as well is going to be the corner. So you have some up there, and you have some here on this side. And this is the stuff that we look for. This is the stuff that changes a card's value from possibly being worth thousands of dollars to, hundreds or even less, depending on the card and the condition. But something like this, you're probably looking in the ballpark of like maybe like a 7, because there's a decent amount of edge wear down here as well in the front, and there's actually like some dirt on here. So I would maybe put this at like a 7. You might slip through with an 8, but I'd say probably a 7 for something like that. And then like this one is actually even worse, because if you look on the bottom, like this one has a lot of edge wear, a ton on that side. So this one has a ton on the bottom there. So that back is looking already like a 6. The Alakazam, the front's not looking too bad though. So a lot of your cards, I would assume, are going to be in like the 6 to 7 range, judging from those two. So I would say it's still worth grading them, because what we're seeing now is like every single grade of card constantly moving up in value. And even like by the time you get the cards submitted, you get them back from PSA, they're probably going to be worth even more, going from what this market is and how long PSA takes to actually get the cards back, right? So if you submit them like next week, you might have to wait. You probably have to wait till next year at least to get them back. So yeah, I'd probably grade them, honestly. Wizard of the Coast era, 6, 7s, and maybe like 8s. Maybe, I would probably cut it off around maybe like the PSA 6 mark. And it's a completely different market. I would like, if you talk to me like last year, I would say no, don't send in cards that are like 6s and 7s. But with this market, yeah, I would say so for sure. But thank you so much for that question. We're gonna move on to the next question here. I'm just gonna X out a couple of these tabs. Hopeful that my computer will be able to keep up with all of your guys' awesome questions and photos and everything. Let's move on to the next one here. All right, so this one is from Steven. This is a grading question, and the question is, what do you think these will grade? So what I'm going to do is I have 3 photos on here. I'm going to pull these up onto the screen, and we're going to see what we have here. So swap that over there. We have a Misty first edition from Gym Heroes. We're going to take a look. This is going to be another grading question. So front is looking really nice. We can actually see that the centering is basically spot on. It's got a first edition stamp there. First edition Gym Heroes. Misty trainer card. So they did the trainers in holo, if you guys don't know. I believe this set was from the year 2000, I'm going to say. So we have that on the front there. And then we can look here. The back is looking pretty clean. So we do have a tiny spot there of edge wear. There's like a little speck of something there. And then I can't zoom in on the bottom to show you guys, but I do see a little bit of edge wear on the bottom corner there and a tiny speck right there. And then if we look here, there's another shot of the front. So I would say this is a solid 9 candidate. You might slip by with a 10 depending on how bad that bottom is, which it actually doesn't look very bad, but it'll probably more likely to get the 9 since you have 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4 spots. So if you're under like 2 spots of whitening that aren't very noticeable, you could probably get a 10. You have a shot at it, but once you start getting multiples of like 1, 2, 3, 4, then you're more likely to get the 9. Because a 10, for those you don't know, a PSA 10 is not a perfect card by any means. So you can have cards that are off center a little bit. You can have cards that have whitening, a little bit of whitening on certain spots and things like that, and it'll still have a shot at a PSA 10. But all right, so Kuro with the super chat. Is Shining Legends worth investing or just hyped up? So Shining Legends has been getting a lot of talk lately. It's kind of like, I compare it a little bit to Hidden Fates. It's like a mini version of Hidden Fates because the set's small, but you do have a lot of things going for it, honestly. So Shining Legends, you have, number 1, you can get Shining cards in it, right? You can get the Shining Mew. You can get the Shining Rayquaza, the Genesect. You can get the secret rare. Let me just show you guys. We'll just do it that way. Let me show you guys. So, PokeDEKE, for those of you guys that don't know, it's a website here where it shows all the sets that Pokemon released in order. It's a great place to get a visual representation of all the sets. I love it for that. And so if we go in here, we're going to look for Shining Legends, which is right here. I believe it came out in 2017. One of the earlier Sun and Moon sets. So for those of you guys that don't know Shining Legends, it was a set like Hidden Fates, where you have to get, and like Generations, etc., where you have to get those pin collection boxes or the tins and things like that to grab the sets. So if you guys saw my recent video from yesterday where I unloaded a skid of all the stuff that I got at distributor level of certain sets, you saw me pick up Shining Legends. And Shining Legends is a set that's getting up there, right? So we look on here, it's from October 6th, 2017, which is when it was released. So we're talking like 4 years ago this set was released, so it has that going for it. It's getting up there in age. Another thing it has going for it is that the only way to get it is through the pin boxes and stuff like that, which you saw where you guys saw it looked like a giant box, but really in reality, there's only 2 booster boxes worth of packs inside of there. So you have that going for it. Storage is going to be hard to hang on to something like that. But we go down here. First of all, the big hitter card, I would say for sure, is this Mewtwo Secret Rare. It's an awesome artwork. It's a secret rare, number 78. And with this one, I believe this in a PSA 10, I think the last one sold for about $500. So you have this beautiful Mewtwo GX artwork, secret rare in there. You have all of these other full art rainbow cards, the Entei, Zoroark, and Mewtwo. You got another Entei and Mewtwo regular full art card. And then, of course, we have the Shinings in here, which, like, here's an example. The Shining Mew, I don't even know what this thing's worth now. It keeps going up in value, but I think a PSA 10, let's dip into it and see what a PSA 10 sold for. We'll just go straight on eBay for this one. So we'll do PSA 10 Shining Mew from Shining Legends. And we'll see what that's going for. So Let's check it out. We have 250 or best offer, 250 or best offer, 320 or best offer. These are all, and these are constantly selling. So, and here's that Mewtwo GX. So this will be a good one to check out. This sold recently, just the other day, a few days ago. We have the Shining Legends, as people call it, the test tube Mewtwo GX. And this one sold for $589 or best offer. So if you guys want to know how to see what a card actually sells for, what we can go on here is we can copy the eBay item number. We can go to a website called watchcount.com, and we could paste in that number, and we could see what it actually sold for, the true price that this sold for. So it actually went, if you believe it or not, $490 plus $4.27 shipping. So it went for basically $500. It's tough to pull, but it's not super tough to pull because the set is so small from Shining Legends. You got to keep that in mind as well. The set is only 73 cards plus the secret rares, which makes it, I believe, 78 cards. So 78 cards. You have Shinings in here, and like I mentioned earlier, it's like a mini sort of Hidden Fate set, but it has the age going for it, right? It's old. It's older. It's a lot older than Hidden Fates. And you have cards that are worth substantial amount of value in this set. So in terms of it being like overhyped or anything like that, I don't think so. I mean, you guys saw me pick it up, and I always tell you guys whatever I'm picking up, what I'm selling, what I'm buying, and you guys saw I picked up Shining Legends because number one, I didn't have any Shining Legends whatsoever, and number two, I think it's from that era where Pokemon was starting to pick up in popularity from Pokemon Go, but also it still wasn't anything like it is today. So scarcity and things like that come into play. And yeah, I think it's an awesome set. Oh, and you get a holo in every pack too. So yeah, hopefully that helps. Only 20 tabs opened up, says James. Yes, I got to keep closing them out here so we don't crash the stream or anything like that. But all right, guys, if you are just joining up here, we are hanging out in the Poke Cave answering all of your guys' questions related to Pokemon cards, whether it be collecting, whether it be investing, buying and selling, the market, grading, even if it's what's your favorite Pokemon. You guys can ask any Pokemon-related questions here, and we're going through and answering as many as we can today. Hopefully, you guys are having a good morning wherever you are in the world. But we're going to move on to the next question, guys. Make sure you get your questions in the form. Link is down below in the description. Going to go through as many as I can today. All right, so let's see what the next question is going to be. Mario, this is a question under other. The goal is to be the very best. I love when people say that. Try your best and do what you can. Work hard, and it's never too late to start. You can always make the dream happen, guys. You can always make it happen through hard work and discipline and passion. The question is, when did you drop out of Pokemon and drop back in? I've always loved Pokemon, but it was collecting cards all the way up to the Neo sets and playing till Leaf Green, Fire Red, and came back into games now. When did you get back into it, or did you never drop out of it? That's a cool question. So that's more of a question for me personally. So with that one, I stopped collecting around Generation 2. That's when people in school kind of like looked at me and I had like a Pokemon shirt on. They were like, you still like Pokemon? And I was like, yeah, I like Pokemon. And through peer pressure, you know, that sort of stuff happens to kids. And through peer pressure, it kind of pushed me out of it. But I was collecting through Gen 2. I played Gold and Silver, Red and Blue. And then it got to the point where it was like, you know, like acceptance in school and stuff like that, where it was just kind of like, it was like not cool to collect Pokemon cards. It wasn't cool to watch the show. It wasn't cool to play the game. So through peer pressure, that pushed me away from it. And then I stopped around there. I stopped after like Gen 2, and that's when I fell out of it. But I got back into it in 2015, I think it was, like in 2015. Yeah, that's when I was scrolling through eBay, and I just so happened to come across a base unlimited booster box, and it sparked my interest again. And I kind of was like, wow, like you could still buy old Pokemon cards sealed. And then that's just where it all started back then. So around 2015. But yeah, people are constantly coming back into Pokemon, constantly I mean, just like especially now, but really just it's been flowing in. I would say ever since like 2016 Pokemon Go. Since then, it's just people constantly been coming back in, and especially this year. And then Hidden Fates, Shiny Charizard, just everything, just pushing it to the next level of people just coming in back into Pokemon. So nowadays, it's not as it's a lot more acceptable, I guess, to people. But really, you can do whatever you'd like. But through things like YouTube, people constantly talking about it, and it being more of something where even outside people jump into it in terms of like the market and things like that. It's a lot more acceptable to to not have people like pressuring other people out of it, I would say. But at the end of the day, do what you love what you do. Never a wrong thing to collect. But thank you for the question. So, next, actually, we have a super chat from Dreaming Big. Is the new champion path worth investing into? So this is going to be another one where it is. First off, I'll say right off the bat, I'll pull that up again for those of you guys that do not know or you're just joining up here. Champion's Path was just announced about 2 days ago. This is a set. It's going to be like the Hidden Fates of this year. In terms of when I say Hidden Fates, I just basically mean that you can only get the sets in like pin boxes, pin collection boxes, and elite trainer boxes and things like that. But with this set in particular, there's going to be, it seems like, a big Charizard chase. So with the elite trainer boxes, of course, you have this awesome artwork on the front, and then you're going to get a full art Charizard card, which we're thinking it's going to, from this photo, it looks like it's going to be this one that we didn't get from the Japanese tournament. This card in particular will only be in these elite trainer boxes. So with that being said, these are going to be selling out like crazy everywhere. So I would definitely advise grabbing these if you can, because people are going to want whatever Charizard's in here, and then people are going to be hunting for whatever the other chase Charizard is going to be in here, which most likely it's going to be that that Japanese tournament one. That's what it'll probably be the artwork. I don't know if it's going to be in the rainbow version or what they're going to do with it, but I think this is going to be an awesome set. It's just going to be, it's going to follow up Darkness Ablaze, which is already an awesome set there. That's coming out August 15th, and then the Champion's Path is coming out September 25th. So awesome year for Pokemon. All right, so let's move on to the next question here. We got from Chris Turner. This is a collecting question, and the goal is still trying to be a superstar. Still trying to be a superstar. Hey, keep working hard, and you'll get there. The question is, trying to work on my Charizard collection. Which do you think is more coveted? The Legendary Collection regular Holo Zard in PSA 8 or PSA Authentic Signed Evolution Zard? Well, that's a tough question. So I tend to stick to the older cards are looking as to be tougher to find in mint condition. So if you're looking at a Legendary Collection Charizard in PSA 8 or a signed Evolution Zard, I think that's more of a personal choice. It's tough to say. I tend to, like I said, I tend to stick to the older stuff. So I would probably myself, if it came down for me, I'd probably go for the Legendary Collection. But not to say that the signed Evolutions Charizard is a bad choice either. I think they're pretty close, and I think that'll come down to more of a personal choice on there. But either way, I think they're solid. But thank you for the question. Hopefully I helped answer that. Some of these are it gets to the point where it's just kind of like gets more of what specifically you would want to do on it, not one wrong or right way to go. Of course, you can always ask for people's advice on it, but yeah. All right, so next question is gonna be from Simon. This is a market question. The goal is to refresh my old collection with PSA graded cards. The question is, do you think Charizard V in the English Champions Path release will hold the same value as the Japanese version currently out? No, absolutely not. For sure not. Because with the Japanese version, you're looking at if you're referring to I'm assuming you're referring to this one, right? So this one for the tournament level in Japanese, there's 2,400 copies. So that is going to be a trophy card, right? So you have to look at that. There's a limited print of them of 2,400. So you got the limited availability. You have it being a trophy card. You have it being a Charizard trophy card for sure. The Japanese version trophy cards, just to make that clear for anybody that's wondering, if they do the VMAX in the same artwork style and everything like that, the trophy card is going to for sure hold more value in terms of it because it's a trophy card. That has huge premiums. It's limited. That has huge premium, and it's Charizard plus trophy. So I'm gonna say for sure that the trophy card is gonna be the king of the value wise in terms of those artworks. But let's move on to the next question here. And this one's from Jose. The goal is to collect as much as possible from each set. The question is, where should I start with collecting Pokemon cards? Which sets should I look to collect since I just am getting started collecting again? So we hear this a lot, right? So a new collector comes in, kind of gets a little bit overwhelmed, and then just has no idea where to start, right? Like you are getting confused, like should I go with PSA cards? Should I go with binder sets? Should I open packs to collect? Should I buy cards already? Should I try to go for complete binder sets? Should I collect what I used to grow up with? Should I collect with the new stuff? Should I collect with stuff that's going up in value? Like there's so many things to think about that it's overwhelming. So the first step I would do is number one, just try to take a breath and think that you're coming to collect Pokemon cards because you want to have something that is going to make your day brighter, that you're going to be passionate about, that you're going to enjoy, maybe collecting with family or friends. And think of that first and foremost. Then this next step is think about what you enjoy, right? Do you want to go back in time to the nostalgic days of cards that you grew up with? Do you want to go for newer stuff and make new memories and new nostalgia attachments to more current sets? Do you want to go for current sets that are just really popular and really awesome, and then go from there? First, think about what you really enjoy, what you really are going to be passionate about, and then once you get that down, then think about, do you want to go think about a budget that you have in mind, a spending limit that you can spend every week or every month, and then from there, think about if you want to go for PSA cards or binder sets, or just pick up random artworks that you like. And I think that's the best way to go about it. Just take it one step at a time, and don't try to not to get too overwhelmed with it. But first and foremost, just collect what you enjoy, I would say, is number one, and go from there. Hopefully that helps. But give me an update, Jose. Let me know in a week or two. Come back to the live next Saturday or even 2 weeks from now. Don't take as much time. Take as much time as you need to figure it out, and give us an update about what you're thinking, and then we'll go from there. All right. So next question is from Ryan M. This is a buying and selling question. The question is, what is the price of an EX Deoxys booster box? I have one, but I really do not know what it is worth. Thanks for being awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here and for the question. So, Deoxys booster box. First of all, I'm gonna put it out there that Deoxys is most likely the most expensive EX era booster box for multiple reasons. Number one, you never see Deoxys boxes up on eBay for sale. You never see them anywhere, and it's been consistent over the years. I think ever since I got back in 5 years ago, I have only seen one on the market every year, and that is crazy. I mean, you see first edition base set booster boxes more than that. Maybe twice a year is probably the most that I've ever seen it, and that's pushing it. Maybe that was like 1 year. We haven't seen a single one this year. I think we might have saw one last year, like maybe early last year. It has the Gold Star Rayquaza in it. I mean, that is huge. That card, I don't even know what it's worth in PSA 10 over 20,000. I don't even know what the last one went for, but let's take a peek here and let's see what that is going for. So PSA 10, and for those of you that are wondering, I do have an EX Deoxys booster box in my collection. It's a personal collection. It's never getting opened. I'm never going to sell it probably. It's in my main booster box collection. But that's for another video I'll jump into. But PSA 10, or I'm not doing PSA 10. I'm just doing Deoxys. Oh yeah, I am. Rayquaza. PSA 10, Rayquaza, Gold Star. Let's see what comes up here. And we don't want Japanese because these aren't Japanese, but the value is going to be a lot lower. We want English. So PWCC back in May. So you got to think that's back in May. Went for $19,000. And then, of course, we had this one I think was definitely a real sale. Because I do know Giovanni's Mew on Instagram. I'm sure I could verify with him. He's been in the hobby for a long time. Shout out to Giovanni's Mew. But at least I think it's the same person that's on Instagram. Pretty sure it is. Let me see the location. Now I'm curious. Yeah, in the UK, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so we can see what it actually sold for. And I'm assuming he could verify this sale for us. So this one also went for about 19,000. I believe. Yeah, 19,000. So yeah, it's worth at least, it's probably around $20,000 just for that card. Just for that card, right? So for those of you guys that don't know, this is the Gold Star Rayquaza. It's one of the hits in that set. So, I mean, it's the most valuable Gold Star card. And then we can also look for a Deoxys box. I mean, there's no way that there's going to be one on the market, but we'll see. Deoxys booster box. There's, you know. And then we'll go to all categories. We got to think it's Deoxys, the Pokemon. So we got to kind of go price high to low. And nothing. There's an empty box for 300 or best offer that's in pretty beat up condition. Nothing sold. But even an empty box that's not in the best condition sold for $300 on auction or $285. So, I mean, we can even look at Deoxys booster packs, which is not going to give us the full picture of the value of a booster box, because those are two separate things. And as well as packs being loose on the market, you got to assume whenever you buy packs off of eBay or anything like that, just always assume that they're weighed. That way you won't really, you'll be like, okay, I'm buying these. They're probably weighed. So if they are weighed, you'll know ahead of time. Not that they always are, but most of the time. So the packs, even the packs are, loose packs are pretty high as well, but they're easier to find. They're easier to find on here. And really quickly, this is a really cool auction that I've never seen this before, but this looks to be like a third-party packaging, most likely third party. Maybe it's an official Pokemon. No, see, it's distributed by Excel Marketing, so it's one of those third-party things. So Excel Marketing LLC is not affiliated with Pokemon, so you always have to make sure. But this is older, so I'm assuming that this is something that was actually pretty cool, and people, weren't really weighing packs as much back then or anything like that. So you have a Crystal Guardians and a Deoxys box. I don't know what's behind them, but it looks like there's something back there. Can't quite tell. And I guess there's sleeves behind there, but this is at $400 already. So this is something where it's probably packs that are not weighed. Deoxys and Crystal Guardians, because you got to think, whoever put this together, this company put this together probably a long time ago. I don't see a year on here, but I'm going to assume it was back when these sets were pretty available, because you could even see the price on the top there is $9 for them. So pretty cool. I'll keep my eye on it, put it on my watch list, and there's 67 watchers already on this. So, but then going back to the question, right? What's the value of an EX Deoxys booster box? We don't know. It's going to be whatever the market puts it at. I would say at a bare minimum, probably 15, 20,000. That would be a ballpark, just as like a minimum for sure. You could go a lot higher than that. I would not be surprised at all. But all right, guys, hopefully you're having a good time here in the live Q&A. Jack says, hey, hope you have time to check my cards for PSA in the Q&A. Absolutely, Jack. I will do my best. I grabbed them in order of when they came in, so I can't see like who is who until I get to that question. I can only see that one, and I click the next one, and it says the person's name on there. But I'll do my best to try to get to your question. And we got J. Bob and Sons, of course, in the house, learning a lot this morning. Thanks. Cheers with the coffee emoji. Hey, thank you so much for being here, J. Bob and Sons, and everybody else that's out there hanging out in the Poke Cave. I appreciate all of you guys in the chat right now, hanging out. We're just answering your guys' questions related to Pokemon cards, collecting, buying, selling, market, everything in between. Next up, we got Adam M. with a grading question. Hey, Rev, what do you think of the cards I pulled a week ago? Worth sending them to get graded? All right, so we got some cards that were pulled a week ago, and we're going to see if they are worth getting graded. So I'm going to pull up here on the screen. Ooh, we got a Ablaze, Arcanine, looking really nice there. Let's see what else we got coming up out of here. We got got some more gym cards. I don't want to overload my computer. I see you have a lot of photos, which is always good, but I know sometimes when I pull up like 10 photos really quickly, things get kind of weird. So let's just check a couple of these out. The Blaine's Arcanine. The front is looking really solid. It's like Sugimori artwork. The centering is looking really good. Front's looking really good. We can kind of zoom in a little bit and see like the hollow, if there's any scratches on here. That's the first thing you're going to look at after you look at the centering. Is there other scratches? And I'm not seeing any really. The Arcanine kind of takes up most of the frame there, so you don't have a ton of hollow to worry about, but there could be some stuff going on in there that we can't see. And then I'm trying to, sometimes it's tough to match up the front and the backs of photos. Let me see if I have any other ones on here. This one I believe is probably the back of the Arcanine. The back of this one's looking really nice. Might have a shot at a 10 on this one, depending on if that hollow is clean. So that's a really nice card there in first edition gym challenge card. So yeah, some really nice stuff here. I'm trying to grab a couple more photos. Let me see. Got the Rhydon. That's a solid one as well. I gotta tilt. I gotta do the side head tilt for this one. Centering is really nice on that one. So these look like they're pretty clean cards. So you probably have like 9 to 10 shots on these for sure. This one has some edge wear on a couple of the corners, so maybe like a 9. But you got like mint to gem mint cards here, which is awesome to see. So congrats on that. Absolutely, send those in to get graded. Anything near mint or higher really, which is like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for sure on those, especially with that first edition stamp. All right, let's move on to the next question. Let's see. Dylan, this question is on there. Is there a hyper rare Charizard in Darkness Ablaze? No, there is not. So we didn't get a hyper rare. We didn't get the rainbow rare Charizard this time around. But the new set, if you saw, Champion's Path, most likely it's going to be in Champion's Path. So looking forward to that set. September 25th, guys. Keep an eye out for that. Grab those ETBs for sure. This is a question from Elias, a collecting question. The goal is just to collect. The question is, how old are you? I am 30 years old. I just turned 30 a couple months ago, so big 3-0, guys. Thank you for the question. And yeah, I grew up with the base set, so I was 9 years old when Base Unlimited came out. That's when I jumped into Pokemon during the craze when it all began. It's crazy to think back that I know a lot of people jump into different generations, but it's cool to think that there's a lot of people that jumped in like right when it started, which is cool. Let me know in the chat if you guys jumped, what generation of Pokemon you jumped into, or were you in, did you jump in when the set first was released? Or not the set, the the base set was first released when Pokemon first came out. All right, so Jeff the Ref is in the house. What is going on, my man? Thank you so much for hanging out here. Good morning, Poke Cave. When are we checking out the next PWCC auctions? Well, I'm happy you brought that up because we got some PWCC auctions coming up very, very soon here. So I'll actually pull up the PWCC auctions and we could take a quick peek here. If you guys remember, we did a PWCC auction live here where we went through and we watched all of the Pokemon items tick down to the very last second. PWCC is like the biggest eBay auction house and for collectible cards. So what we can do is we're on PWCC here, and we can do Pokemon. I'll just put in Pokemon because they all should have Pokemon in the title for the most part. And we'll go to these there. It is going to be Monday night, guys. We only got a couple days left. I'll probably make another announcement just so you guys know. Monday night, we are going to see the craziness. And this one actually had some shill bidding activity on it. It was over 100,000 on this 9.5, and now they're saying it's at 57,000. So this one is one to kind of keep an eye on for shill bidding and stuff like that. But when you have high bidder activity and high feedback bidders like this one, it could be legitimate. So we're going to see. It's a very strong 9.5, honestly. But that's as strong as the 9.5 you can get. So we got a bunch of big hitters coming up, guys. This is like a quick little preview here. Lots of high-end cards, all kinds of stuff coming up on PWCC. Monday night, guys. Come hang out in the Poke Cave. We'll do this together because I know a lot of people like to watch these end, and they do it. A lot of people just do it by themselves, but I think it'd be cool to just watch it go down together. Guys, we got this Shadowless box back up on the market as well from last auction. That one was a little iffy, so we're going to see what happens. But we got 322 auctions to look forward to Monday night. Looks like they are ending starting at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I believe it should be. So that'll be fun. Thank you, Jeff the Ref. As always, appreciate you being here. All right. So, moving on to the next question. It's going to be from let's see what we got here. It is the one and only TCG Revival jumping in. Are you jealous that my beard has become mightier than yours? Yes, TCG Revival has an awesome beard. 100% jealous of that one. Thank you so much, TCG Revival, as always, hanging out here. One of the mods in the house. Next question is from Jonathan. This is a market question. The goal is to have a box of every set that comes out from now on, but just one of each. That is awesome. An awesome goal. Question is, hey, PokeRev, do you think Darkness Ablaze will be heavily affected by the reveal of Champion's Path? The biggest collector's sell for Darkness Ablaze should be the Charizard V and VMAX, but now we also know Champion's Path will have both of these cards, Charizard V in the Elite Trainer box and VMAX assuming from the Elite Trainer artwork. Any thoughts on this oddity? I have never really seen a card be reprinted right away like this before. So if we go to the Darkness Ablaze Charizard, that's a good question too, but let me go on here and let me go to probably like Poke Beach, I'm going to think. Poke Beach. I'm trying to see where we can see like the cards from Darkness Ablaze. Okay, so like this. So we go on here, you can see this is kind of like the artworks that we have. So check it out. The artworks are actually different. So we have the Charizard V. This is from Darkness Ablaze. And then we also have this VMAX, which is like the full art. It's not a Rainbow Rare version. So these are in Darkness Ablaze. So those are actually different. Then we're assuming that this one's going to be in Champion's Path as a promo card full art in the Elite Trainer boxes. Not confirmed, but from the photos, I'm going to take a guess and say that it's going to be this one. Then we may have, for the big card to kind of pull from that, is it might be this one, right? It might be this Rainbow Rare. So technically, you're not getting duplicate cards or reprints or anything like that. But yeah, it does kind of, that's like one of the things that it did come to mind for me was, so, you know, since I'm going to assume that most likely the Champion's Path Charizard is going to be the most difficult to pull, like whatever the hyper rare is in that set. So it kind of brings the point, like, is Darkness Ablaze going to get shadowed over by Champion's Path? You know, because I'm assuming that like these two Charizard cards are going to be easier to pull from Darkness Ablaze, and you know, in comparison, are people going to want these over them, or are they all, kind of going to work together as like a collection of different Charizards that people want to grab. But either way, we got a lot of Charizards coming through. We're going to just have to wait to see what happens. But I think I'm a little bit more excited for Champion's Path now. So that's kind of like, what do you guys think? Are you guys more excited for Darkness Ablaze or Champion's Path? Let's get a hashtag in the chat. Hashtag Champions Darkness Ablaze or Champion's Path. Let me know which one of those you're more excited for. I'm probably a little bit more excited for Champion's Path, to be honest. But either way, I'm still excited for Darkness Ablaze. But Champion's Path a little bit more for me. Let me know what you guys are more interested in, and we will move on to the next question. I know a lot of people are just waking up now and joining up here and like wondering why this is already happening, but I got a crazy schedule today, and I made a commitment to you guys to make sure every Saturday that we hang out here for at least a few hours in the Poke Cave doing this live Q&A. So we start it way earlier than normal, but hopefully you guys are enjoying this either way. So let's move on to the next question. This one is from Braden. It is a grading question. And the question is, my friend had this first edition Shining Tyranitar in his old binder. Is it worth grading even if the grade won't be high? Ooh, Shining Tyranitar. So let's pull that up on the screen here really quickly and see what we got. The Shining Tyranitar. I think you might have sent this in last time, and that's when the stream stopped working. I forget if it was this card or not, but so this one, as you can see, the front is looking not too bad, but you do have the whitening and stuff like that on the corners, like edge wear. Centering's not too bad. You don't have to worry. The only thing you have to worry about is the shining part of the Tyranitar on there. So in terms of like the front of it, the centering's good, but we're going to look on the back, and like you said, the back is where it's like kind of getting a little bit messed up here with all the edge wear, so that could easily drop it down to like something like a 6 with all the edge wear all around here. So all you got to really do is kind of look on eBay or maybe Pokemon Price and kind of see where we are at here with like the grade, right? Like what that would sell for. So we do PSA 6 first Shining Tyranitar. We can kind of see what the value would be on something like that, but it might be hard to find a 6. So first edition, I just want to double check to make sure that was first edition. And we can kind of see, so there's none listed or sold for PSA 6. Let's bump it to like a 7 and see if anything comes up. We got a 7 that sold for $330 back in May on auction, so that price is most likely outdated. But we can go to that's available, nothing available. So it's tough to say exactly what that would actually be worth right now. Maybe I could try 5 to see if anything comes up. Most likely not. So, it could be in that $300 range for something like that. But yeah, for sure it'd be worth grading. For sure. I mean, without a doubt, without a question, it'd be worth grading that up. But yeah, so let's move on to the next question. So let's see what we got here. Hey, thank you so much, Jonathan. I think we actually, we hit 30,000 subscribers during this live, because I think right before it was like a few subscribers shy of 30,000. So I think we might actually hit 30,000 just now. But thank you so much, guys. I appreciate the support as always. 30,000 subscribers. That's crazy. I can't thank you guys enough, honestly. All right, so let's see what the next question is going to be. We have Kuro. This is a grading question. Which grade will this grade a 10? I think a 9 because of the off center. Ooh, okay. So let's pull up some pictures here. This is another one that has a ton of pictures. So I'm gonna if you guys could bear with me a little bit here. I don't want to go too fast. Sometimes when I move too fast with it like something happens to my Chrome browser. But so okay, you can see like this is just the side of the card. It's a Shiny Charizard GX. You can see right there. I could tell right away that that's going to be too off center for a 10. So it definitely won't be a 10 with that centering. In terms of getting the OC grade, it won't get the OC with that much of a off center. It's very tough to get the OC grade. It'd have to be off a lot more than that, I would assume. So most likely looking like a 9. If you guys saw the population reports on these cards, like pack fresh shiny Charizard GXs. If I could pull up Pokemon price, I'm getting lost in all my tabs. If I could pull up Pokemon price, here we go, and we go to this. I did it before and I showed you guys, but we're gonna go to Hidden Fates, and when we pull that up, and then we go to Charizard, and you take a look at how many exist in the population. So there's 1,155 PSA 10s. There's 367 9s. And then after that, there's only like 56 8s, 5 7s, 3 6s, 2 5. So most, like, the odds of it being a 9 or a 10 are extremely high when you pull a Charizard GX out of a pack, or just in general. So I would assume you're going to be like in that 9 range right there. So hopefully that helps you out a little bit with that one. But guys, while we have some time, I'm going to switch over to eBay, and we're going to just kind of dive into, we're going to switch it up a little bit here just to change it up for a little bit. We're going to go on eBay. Let's see what we got listed right now on eBay. Let's see what the new listings are. Let's see what things that are selling for at the market at this very moment while we're doing this live. Like I always mention, you guys, there's always opportunities out there passing you by, and even during this live event, there's probably been some stuff that's been listed and sold, some deals and things that have come up on the market. So especially for a Saturday morning, you tend to like have people listing things on eBay because, you know, they're off from work or whatever the case may be. But what we're going to do is we're going to go on here to eBay, and we are going to just type in Pokemon into the search like that. I am going to go like this. All right. So Pokemon on the search, and what we're going to do here is go to newly listed, and we're just going to see what's been listed right now, right? We're going to see if there's anything that's crazy that's been listed, and we're going to see what we got. So newly listed, you go to all categories, and then you just scroll through it. You want to do an F5 refresh. That gives you like the best kind of refresh on here, the most up to date. And we're going to go scroll through this a little bit. We got a PSA 5 first edition Mewtwo from base set that was listed up on there. We're looking for anything that might stand out as like something that looks like a good deal, or something rare or crazy that might pop up on here that you know you don't see every day and might be tough to come by. So I'm just going to scroll through here briefly. We got some theme decks on here for $300 or best offer. I'm going to assume these are sealed. So it's got 8 views an hour. You can make an offer on here. You got the Rocket, you got the Jungle, and you got the Fossil theme decks. You also have a Jirachi EX. Let's see. I'm not seeing anything too crazy. I'm not seeing oh, this is nice. I don't know if you're watching. I know Rhyme Style's looking for one of these, but this is a Topps box, the movie 2000, listed for $1,780 or best offer. So this is that same person from before with those theme decks. So it looks like somebody is listing sealed Pokemon products. So what you can do is you could click over to that seller, and you can see what else they have. So they have some Neo theme decks for $400 or best offer. Might be worth throwing an offer in, and we could see they do come up as a new seller, but all of their photos look to be in the same type of environment and same type of photo. So it seems to me like when you see photos like that all look the same but different items, it tends to be a good sign that it's a legitimate seller. And they actually did sell one of those Pokemon the Movie 2000 booster boxes for $900 just recently, last week. So seems to be like possibly you could find some stuff with this person. But we're going to move back here, and now what we're going to do is actually go to the sold. And what you can do is under sold, you can see what sold as a new listing. So what that means is basically are the listings that were just newly listed, and then somebody snagged it like that. So we could see stuff that was just listed and gone immediately. So all you do for that is you can actually type in new listing, and you could see what sold. So a Vaporeon EX from Delta Species sold for 20 bucks as a new listing. So that one was listed and gone in a second. That's all happening right now while you guys are watching this live. So we also have some other stuff here. Shiny Charizard GX. Wow. That one was newly listed. It sold for $650 or best offer. And that one just was basically what happened was it was up on eBay and it was gone very, very fast. And it looks like this one's pretty well centered on here. Let's see what it actually sold for. So we can go to watch count and we could see what this sold for on watch count. So we're going to go to the true price that it sold for. $650. So somebody just did the buy it now on it because they thought it probably has a shot at a 10. So we'll see. You know, it's a risk, right? That goes back to like buying the cards that are they're kind of like a gamble, right? It's a gamble to buy graded cards. So we're gonna keep seeing what other new listings sold on here recently. You got a Mewtwo from Base Unlimited, Charizards. You got Vaporeon figure. Nothing too wild. So one other thing that I want to do on here is I want to go to newly listed, and then I want to go to higher price cap. So let's start it off for all new listings for about $300 or higher, just to see if there's any other bigger ticket items that we didn't see and are newly listed that might be worth checking out. So we just do Pokemon, we do a minimum price of 300, and then we kind of see what we have here. Giant lot of bulk. We saw these, we saw that. We got some graded cards. So nothing too. Oh, here we go. Somebody has the. So this is like a prime example here of what happens when the market gets new cards, right? So this is like new in hand, Charizard VMAX, and this person, you know, has it early before everybody else. So, you know, the Gigantamax Charizard VMAX, this is like, if you want this card right now, this person has it up for $5,000 or best offer. I mean, I would definitely not buy that. So just wait. Just be a little bit more patient on that one. Be a little bit more patient. Don't do anything crazy. But I know some people do crazy things. So yeah, so we can scroll through here, some more nice graded cards. And is that the tournament card? I don't know why those photos aren't being pulled up. What is this? Rare Error Haunter. That's interesting. So this Haunter has some stuff going on with it on the holo. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's an error. It could have been somebody spilled something on it. So be careful with stuff like that, with errors that are not confirmed. I've never seen anything like that. It just looks to me like something was like spilled on the card, but I could be wrong. But yeah, that's kind of like what's going on eBay right now. And let's switch back over into the Q&A. We have some more time for some more questions here. And let's see what we got. We also have in the chat, TCG Rarity, received your boxes, mate. Thank you. Cannot wait for the next deal. Hey, thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it. I appreciate that a lot. And of course, we have Mystic Mew with the super chat. Thank you so much, Mystic Mew. Rev, check out the seller Fido on eBay. This is the guy I emailed you about. Ooh, Fido on eBay. I'll definitely check that out. I don't know if you could search by eBay user. I think you can, but I'm not totally sure how to search. If anybody knows, just let me know. But I appreciate the heads up, and I'll definitely check that out as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump back into the questions I have. We're going to run this till 10. Unfortunately, it's not going to go as long as I normally try to go. I try to go sometimes up to 3 hours, but this one we're going to end at about a 2-hour mark because of my schedule today, but I still have time for a handful more questions here. So let's see what the next question is going to be from. This one's from Devin S. This is a buying and selling question. The question is, I have a large Wizards of the Coast single card collection. I've sent the PSA, the Charizards, and the rest of the better condition ones. I was wondering, would it be better idea to sell the rest of my collection, mostly PSA 5s to 8s, as lots / mystery packs, or price them out just like any other higher quality card? I'd just like to know your opinion if you were in the situation. Obviously, you can't see all the cards, and I have most likely between 75 to 150 total. Just wondering what you thought on the matter. I feel a lot of people have roughly the same situation nowadays. P.S. I also used to put my cards in my pockets when I was a kid. Yes, putting the cards in your pocket as a kid. That's like what a lot of kids did back in the day for sure. I was one of them. But yeah, so it's a lot of people get in that situation where they have so many cards and that maybe not worth grading, maybe not worth selling raw separately. So it becomes to a point as like where you want to value your time, right? So as well as like certain things like shipping costs. So if you could put the cards in a lot together, and do them in bulk lots, you could do it that way, and kind of get them out and save on that shipping, save on that time. And like it, some of them are probably not worth grading if you get into like that PSA 5 range. I personally have cards like that I just never got the time to get around to, that I have in storage, and I still to this day have not done anything with them. But I'm glad I hung on to them. So it's kind of like, it depends. Maybe even hang on to them and just wait until those grades start becoming more valuable, and then when the time is right to send them into PSA and get them graded. Like you said, there's different ways to go about it. There's not one right or wrong way to go. It's tough to say for sure. But your ideas are, you're on point with a lot of your ideas though. So you could go about it in those ways. Sorry I didn't have a specific answer, but yeah, hopefully that helped a bit. So we have a collecting question from Bernie. The goal is to enjoy yourself. Hey, that is awesome. Always make sure you're enjoying yourself when you're collecting and things like that. The question is, Rev, thoughts on the value of a base set unlimited, the Sleeping Giant, or peaking right now because of everything that's going on in the world? So base set unlimited, also threw in a couple of photos there as well. You have some nice big cards. The Charizard from base unlimited in PSA 10 as well as a PSA 9 version. So yeah, base unlimited I've always thought was the Sleeping Giant, because it's the set. It is like the set that most people, when they get into the collecting Pokemon cards again, they go right to base set. And it's even the set that where people were never into Pokemon will jump right into, because it is the first set ever. Now, granted, it's not the first edition, but first edition base is so priced out for so many people that base set unlimited is like the big way to go with it. But on top of that, you have that people connect to it, right? So it's like people remember these cards. I remember these cards being base unlimited. I don't remember them being first edition because I never had the first edition. Of course, the first edition Machamp, but I never had the other first edition cards. So for me, that's the first entry back into Pokemon that I took, was base unlimited. I think for sure base unlimited is it's not like temporarily. I think base unlimited is constantly going to be going, because it is like when people jump in, it's like a lot of people go base unlimited. It's just as the starting point. That's my take on it. I think base unlimited is awesome, and I always have for sure. Even with it being unlimited, right? You got to think it's base unlimited. It's the first ever printing of Pokemon. Not first edition, but it's the first ever set that holds so much on so many different levels. Let's move on to the next question, though. Thank you so much for that question. So this question is going to be from Eldon. The question is, hey Rev, do you know if these spots, see the picture on the right on the Call of Legends, are normal? I pulled this card myself, but not remember damaging it. Greetings from the Netherlands. Well, thank you so much for the question, and let's see what we have on here. Let's pull it up on the screen. Oh, that is interesting. So if you guys see, this card was pulled, and no, those are not normal. I'm trying to get a close up here, but hopefully you guys can see that right there. There's like some damage, it looks like. I'm not sure what that would be from. I've never seen that before, but that's definitely not something that that I would say is normal. So I don't know if you pulled this I'm trying to see. Okay, so you said you pulled it yourself, but you didn't say when, so I'm assuming maybe you did that a long time ago. So it looks to me like damage after the fact of it being pulled. That would be my opinion on that, but not 100% sure on that one. Definitely never seen it before. Question is from Levi. The goal is to hopefully pass on what I learned from this to my sons. That is awesome. Keeping the collecting tradition going. My son's got a bunch of base and base set 2, fossil set, and jungle set, plus more, giving them from a friend. That's awesome. Been going through them to see what their value, value-wise. What is the best sets to start with buying and selling these? Should I stay with what I have or try to go with more of the modern sets? So it really is going to depend on what you want to do. Because there's different modern sets that you can jump into that are definitely worth jumping on board with, especially the more popular ones. I would probably stick to more of the popular stuff, the more of the stuff that has chase cards and things like that if you want to go with modern. But there's no right or wrong way to go about it, right? It's whatever you enjoy the most, I would say. So, but thank you for the question, and congrats on all those awesome cards that you grabbed for your sons. This question is from Maurice. And the question is, do you think the Champions Path Elite Trainer boxes will be sold out really quickly? Yep, I do. I think they're going to be heavily allocated. I think people are going to, as soon as pre-sales go on, there have been pre-sales already on some websites, but there's going to be other websites that are going to be taking pre-orders, and they're going to be selling out like crazy, in my opinion, for sure. I would grab it while you can. I would definitely grab them while you can. But also, super chat from Chris Turner. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate the support and everybody that is hanging out here. We have time for a few more questions for today. Let's see. Let's grab a couple more. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get to every single question, which a lot of times I am unable to get to every question because we do get a ton of questions. That's why it's best to get here as early as possible. And I know I started really early today, but the next question is going to be from, let's see. From James. This is a collecting question. The question is, how did you start your collection and how hard was it financially? I know those old cards do cost a lot. Have a nice day. Well, thank you for the question. So basically, how did I get started collecting was just out of genuine passion and interest in collecting. So that's one of the main things that I think is overlooked by a lot of people is go for the things that you enjoy and that you truly like. And what happens is you'll buy them out of pure interest. And what happens is you'll hang on to those cards, not even thinking about the future values and stuff like that. And that's kind of what happened with me. It was like back when I started jumping into it, it was like, oh, I really like this. I really like that. I like this. I like that. I want this in the collection. And then over time, you just start buying things. And then eventually, sometimes you get to the point where you're like, oh, I could sell this. And then I can grab this for my collection and upgrade that. And then it just becomes buying and selling different things to upgrade things in the collection. And before you know it, the values start going up over time. And that's kind of how it worked out for me. But I got in about 5 years ago. So it was a completely different market back then. There were nowhere near as many buyers, but also nowhere near as many sellers. So there were things on the market that would sit there, and I would like, I'd think to myself, oh, this is pretty awesome. Like I could pick that up, and yeah, that's kind of just how it worked out for me, really. But yeah, just stay within your means for sure, and try to have a budget. That's what I did. Just have a budget for a weekly budget or a monthly budget, and stick to that. And then grow off of that. And then when you start buying and selling different things that you don't want in your collection anymore, you can sell those and then use those funds to upgrade to other items. And that's kind of how you keep that in there. But yeah, so I got time for, looks like one more question. And it is going to be from, let's see. It is going to be from, Nathaniel. This is a buying and selling question, and the goal is to invest in Pokemon cards. The question is Tag Team All-Stars a good set to invest in? And you know what? That's actually something that honestly I haven't really looked into very much is the Tag Team All-Stars. You know what I'm gonna do is I'll look into that set a lot more, and I'll bring that up on the next live, because unfortunately I don't have enough time right now to go deep dive into it. But I appreciate the question, and I will try to get that one back, but maybe I do have enough time for one more. I do have one more. Okay, Michael, this is a market question. The question is, what do you think on the gamble of buying mystery boxes from Walmart? So the mystery power boxes, I personally, and this is my personal opinion on it, I don't think they're worth it. Because the thing is, they're packed up by a third-party company, and they put in whatever they want into those boxes. They put whatever they want on the front. I was trying to see, I thought I had one around here, but they put whatever they want on the front. I do have one. So like this one, for example. Give me 1 second. Like this, for example, is like they lure you in with this. It's just like they have Shining Charizard on the front, the Birthday Pikachu, a Shining Noctowl on the back. They just have like the biggest hitter cards on here. Base set Charizard, Venusaur, Blastoise. They got like Dark Charizard, Zapdos from Fossil, Southern Islands Mew. It's just like, I don't like it. I mean, I really don't like it. It's a third-party company, and then they throw in whatever they want into here, and they just kind of make it like, oh, you can get a Shining Charizard. It's like, let me know. Tell me one person that pulled a Shining Charizard out of one of these mystery power cubes. And if there is one person, it's probably just one person. But it's just, I think these are more of a scam. I mean, the other thing is the mystery power boxes, which I've seen a lot of people getting good packs out of. But I think what happened with those mystery power boxes is that the company put those in there because I think you can get Stormfront packs. And when they made those mystery power boxes, they were probably designing those back at the end of last year, maybe like the beginning of this year. And they probably had no idea, which a lot of people had no idea, was that those Stormfront packs were going to appreciate so much in value over time that what happened was they put them in those mystery power boxes, or whatever they call them, the mystery boxes, and they became so much more valuable than when they initially put them in there that it's like a great deal right now. It's like, oh, 1 in 5 shot at grabbing one of those packs, and the pack is worth like whatever they're worth, like $70. But when they put those packs in there, they might have only been worth like $25, $30 a pack. So it made sense to them. But now it's like, I'm sure that they pack all those up ahead of time. They get it all ready to go, and they just have it, you know, manufactured and everything like that ahead of time, like way ahead of time. So what you saw was like, oh my gosh, like people are like, wow, I can get these rare packs. And I think some people pulled Neo packs as well. And it's like, they weren't at that value when they created them. So that's why they are more sought after now, and like a better deal for those boxes in particular. But when they initially made them, they weren't as much of a good deal, if that makes sense. But other than those ones, as like, if I had to get any of them, I would get the ones that are the 1 in 5, the more recent ones with those packs that people have been pulling out of there. But other than that, I've never opened up one of them in my life. I bought this for a video strictly to months ago that I made on the top 10 scams in Pokemon, and I put these in as a scam because I think most of them are scams, to be honest with you guys, for the most part. But that is going to be my take on those mystery boxes from Walmart. I'm not too big into them, but yeah, guys, unfortunately, I'm going to have to end this one early. We did start way earlier, but we got a couple hours in. We're going to do this again every Saturday. Expect the next week's one most likely to start at the normal time, around 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully you guys got some knowledge out of that, had some fun networking and things like that. If you guys missed any of this live, make sure you go through and rewatch the entire thing from start to finish. It's going to be uploaded right after this is over. And guys, if you haven't already, make sure you smash that like button if you enjoyed this live. I really appreciate it, guys. And that is going to be it. Hope you guys have a great day.